Hey everyone, it's Baby Bear, and I have a special treat for you today because I was going through my videos and I realized that there was a throwback video that I never posted, and it was actually the description of the 909 SVS video that I made, the very first SVS singing video I did that got a lot of flack and made fun of, but I wanted to show people that you can reset the throne if it is just you. So we've talked about island servers and island players, and sometimes you have to be able to do these things by yourself. And we were in a situation where we had a rally team, but the leader, the main person, was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he kind of quit, and then everybody else did. And I was just by myself. So I kind of just took it upon myself to try to reset it. And I was a PvE player until that point, and that was kind of the pivotal moment that I started really playing SVS. But I will say that I was incessantly bullied by a group of people, an alliance, and a bunch of mean girls. They used to bully me all the time for everything, right? Like if I played too hard in SVS, I was taking away points from people. If I didn't play enough, I was like just like not helping the server. So I did get to a point where I learned how to PvP just from doing it on my own. And so I just kind of wanted to show you guys. And if you're on an island server and if you're starting out in SVS and by yourself and you don't have a rally team yet, maybe some of these tips and pointers can help you. And look, it was a lot of fun. I will say that SVS is my favorite event, and it's really funny how I used to get ridiculed all the time by these mean girls. But yeah, it's, you know, things have changed now, so that's all good. But also, I think it's just one of those things where it doesn't really matter your personality on this game. As long as you help out in SVS, people will tend to just be able to tolerate you. So, I mean, as long as you perform and do your part, and and that's all people can ask. I mean, there's people on this server that I don't like, but hey, if they try, if they look for Statue of Ares, if they do whatever, I'm, they're an asset to the server, right? So I just wanted to show you guys this, and sorry, I'm like all newbie and everything, but it was, I don't know. I just thought this would be fun to kind of like show you guys because it's like so throwback when I was, all little and my Kaguya was like 7 million power. But on these screenshots, you'll see that they started a whole propaganda about me cheating because I got top 5 the first SVS and I knocked one of their players out. And they were so mad. They started this whole campaign. They actually went to the other server and tried to find out if I cheated. And they were like, no, she didn't cheat. And of course, if you watch my SVS videos, I have had to rescue SVS in the last couple of hours many times. It's just, you just know how to get people to either hit you or you get people to send you targets, right? Like when you have a whole collective of people sending you targets, you're going to have a better traction of winning at the very last moment than if you were just doing it by yourself. So, I mean, it's fine. I mean, look, they try to take my rotation, they try to do all this stuff, but of course, we prove that there was no cheating, and they couldn't do anything about it. And so just basically had to deal with that kind of stuff for a year. I had to deal with it for a year until I met a couple of players, and hopefully you guys will hear from this player when I do an interview, but I definitely learned how to fight back and not get bullied. So look, if you have the money and you're willing to learn, you don't have to put up with people bullying you on a game. But also if like let's say you're in a position where you're a free player and you're getting bullied, best thing is just to go to another server because it's going to be too hard to basically have to fight back against people that have money and knowledge. And really the only way that you can really fight back on that is if you have a player that is bigger than them and they actually are willing to fight for the bullying or for, whatever is going on. And a lot of times you're going to find that that's not going to happen unless that person has direct conflict with the people bullying you. And most of the time, the bullies know to be friends with the big players. They know who to not be jerks to, right? So I would say that if you're going through that on your server, just especially if you're free play, just go to another server. go to another server and just like check it out for, like a week or two and just sit back and observe, and you can realize like, hey, is this place for me, or can I go somewhere else and find some sort of harmony. And of course, you can look for nap servers, you can look for bubble and burn servers. It's all about just trying to find the best possible game for you. And I will say that you do have an advantage of going to newer servers if they see that you're somebody that has knowledge. So let's say you're coming from C4 and you go to C5, you're most likely going to be able to build quickly or more quickly than a lot of the other people because you know the game. And then you can go into the top alliance, so then you're already in the top alliance, and so the you know the chances of you getting bullied diminishes when you're with the top players on that server. So there is also that. And then the other thing is you can friend people, during SVS or in Discord chats or during All Stars. You can find out what alliances they're in, and maybe you can join their alliance if they're looking for players to recruit, that type of thing. So I would just say don't put up with bullying. And if you want to know about what happened to the people that bullied me, I killed them all. So that's it. That was it. And that'll just keep happening. So look, kindness is looked upon as weakness on these games. So you got to have a little fear. You got to make people fear you a little. That's it. I know it sounds weird coming from me because I'm like a really soft snowflake cuddly teddy bear, but no, when it comes to playing these games, I won't tolerate it anymore. And so yeah, you come at me, we're gonna fight. We'll fight on the game. So good luck, and protect your troops, and always bubble. I think no matter if you're on a nap server or a bubble and burn server, always wear that bubble because you just never know. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy some of the throwback and newbiness of it. Also, I think if you're just starting out SVS in a new server, I think there's going to be some good tips and pointers for you guys. And I will also link the song, the very first SVS video that I did of this demo that I'm doing. So I'll link that below as well. So anyways, don't get bullied, guys. Don't put up with it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Hi, it's Baby Bear, and this is a SVS versus 909. You'll see here that I'm blocking this person because what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate her through my block list. Now, she's 1.4 billion, but when I scouted her, she didn't have that many troops in there. So the purpose of hitting her was to hit her out of the forest. So if they lose a defense battle, they will get ported out. So as you'll see here, I go to my block list, find her from all the people, and you do the locate arrest warrant, and there she is, right there. So obviously she is a big player. The purpose of hitting her out of the forest was to get her out of the throne. Now, unfortunately, everybody is familiar with the Evony glitches, and at reset time, always be careful to not do anything important at reset. As you can see, I was not able to get her outside. She ported back in and is refilling the throne. So my next step was, okay, I can't get her again because she's probably full of troops now. So let's scout the throne to see what the options are. So basically, you want to scout and see who is inside the throne, because remember, anybody reinforcing the throne cannot shield with not having a team. So in order to buy more time, you want to hit the magic tower. They will have blue bars that accrue, and the more blue bars appear, the less time the other server has. So if you reset it, it adds more time. So that would be the first plan of attack, is to reset the magic tower. Now, I've already scouted and already burned the Wicked game, so now I am going to find another player that might possibly be offline, and I will have to do a very tedious force porting. I sped it up here just so that you don't have to watch it all in real time. I think all the synchronized dragons are really cool, but having to be cautious and sending out a march just in case he unghosts his troops, you know, you want to be certain that you can take that person with a solo and not get negative points. So I was pretty certain that I could beat him. I think I've seen his stats prior, and from his size, I wasn't too worried about it. Now, if he was reinforced or Wicked Game and other players were in there, it would be the same thing as the throne. It would be too many troops for me to solo to have a positive outcome. So it's very important that you always want to have a positive outcome for the overall SVS experience and scoring. So again, the plan here is tedious, but there is a reason for it. And I can tell you that I was really hoping that he would get force ported and then I could locate him and solo him and win. But he's recalling his troops, puts on a bubble because he knows what I'm doing. He doesn't want to get force port, and he shields. So I know that that's one person out of the throne, right? So now we go to the next person, and it's the same process. And lo and behold, when I hit this person, it turns out they didn't have their troops ghosted. So one of their ghosting rallies probably ended and they didn't refresh it. Or maybe they recalled their troops or planning to shield. Whatever it was, I was able to get a march from them. So that was great. And I think they're trying to hide their troops in Wicked. And she had no troops inside of her. So I made sure to speed march in so that I could force port her out of the forest. And now doing that, of course, means she is now not in the throne. So now with 2 less people in the throne, I am pretty sure that I can at least kill my first march and not be totally point negative. And I will also need to send a following march in order to secure the throne. So knowing this, I know that I'm going to lose my first march. I'm going to send my highest powered march because they sent a bunch of mixed troops in there. So I send my archer march first, speed it in. You don't want to give them any time to reinforce or refill. So they were trying to do that and didn't have time to do that. And then, of course, you want to speed your march back and then send your second march through. Now, this is where a scouter is really important, where you're not the one having to scout and attack, but somebody else in the alliance is able to scout and send the reports so that you can see what troops to send. Since I knew that they had mostly ground generals and a full siege march general with Philip in there, I sent a ground march for my second one. And maybe I would have sent a cav march, but honestly, I think either march that I would send would probably get the throne because of the amount of troops that they had in there. So that was a huge victory. You'll see here how many troops that I have to recover now. It was quite a lot, but I knew this was going to happen. For me, I think it's worth it. I will still say that I prefer PvE and monsters and just having fun in an alliance over SVS, but I do it because I always want to see our server grow. And every time somebody gets their rotation on the throne, they're able to get a 4th dragon, and I think that's really important. And it is very interesting to me how people treat players on this server, and I, for one, always treat everyone with respect with their time, no matter what size they are, if they're big or small, because I seriously rely on all of our scouters. People should not get discouraged by their size or lack of troops, because as long as you can scout for your bigs, you are going to be a very prized member of that server, and they will take care of you. They will make sure that you get your titles and your packs and your help that you need to grow, because your time and your great energy is so valued. I appreciate all of our small alliances. I appreciate everybody that looks for statues. I appreciate everybody that bubbles and doesn't give up points. It's such a trip watching this back. It's funny how so much has changed since then. But I actually think the information tracks. I think it's still relevant. And definitely I would have sent my cab general. because that one is developed now, but at the time I think it was like only 4 million powers. So anyways, guys, let me know if you like this throwback, and hopefully I'm going to get some more interviews for you guys. But thank you as always for watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing.